For the best price, click the link in the description. Are you tired of struggling with stubborn food residue on your glass steamer? Do you find yourself scrubbing for hours to get it clean? But here's what surprised me about the Cuisinart Digital Glass Steamer. Despite its sleek design and digital controls, I encountered more problems than I bargained for. I know some of you might be thinking, what's wrong with a high-end glass steamer? Well, let me tell you, as someone who's tried countless models, I was expecting a lot from the Cuisinart. Therefore, when I started using it, I was shocked by how difficult it was to clean. From what I've gathered online, the Cuisinart Digital Glass Steamer is one of the most popular glass steamers on the market, with over 10,000 reviews on Amazon. However, as I delved deeper into my research, I found a disturbing trend. Many reviewers were complaining about the same issues I experienced. One reviewer wrote, "I was excited to try this steamer, but after only a few uses, it started to develop a stubborn stain that refused to come off no matter how hard I scrubbed." Another reviewer echoed this sentiment, saying, "The glass surface is supposed to be non-stick, but mine's been sticking like crazy. It's become a pain to clean." Therefore, you might wonder why I'm still holding onto this steamer despite its many flaws. The truth is, it does have some redeeming qualities. The digital controls are easy to use, and the glass surface looks sleek when it's clean. However, for me, the problems far outweighed any potential benefits. I want to share with you my experience of using the Cuisinart Digital Glass Steamer so that you can avoid making the same mistakes I did. One reviewer wrote, "This steamer is a total disappointment. The digital controls are finicky and often don't register properly." Another reviewer shared a similar experience, saying, "I thought this was going to be an easy-to-use steamer, but it's been more hassle than I expected." But what exactly went wrong with the Cuisinart Digital Glass Steamer? Was it just a bad unit, or is there something fundamentally flawed about the design? One reviewer suggested that the problem lies in the material used for the glass surface. They wrote, "I think the issue is that the glass is not as non-stick as they claim. I've tried using different types of cookware with this steamer, but the results are always the same." Therefore, you might be wondering if there's a way to fix these problems without replacing the entire steamer. Unfortunately, it seems like Cuisinart has been less than responsive to customer complaints about this product. In fact, one reviewer wrote, "I've tried contacting Cuisinart multiple times to report my issues with the steamer, but they just keep sending me generic responses that don't address anything specific. This lack of accountability is staggering, especially given the price point of this steamer." But here's the thing, I'm not just going to vent about my frustrations. I'm also going to give you some practical advice on how to avoid making the same mistakes I did when buying a glass steamer. For example, one reviewer suggested using a gentle cleanser specifically designed for non-stick surfaces to clean your steamer. However, as I've learned from my research, even this approach doesn't always work. Therefore, you might want to consider investing in a steam cleaner with a more robust design that's easier to clean and maintain. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but isn't the Cuisinart Digital Glass Steamer still worth buying? Unfortunately, based on my experience and research, I would say no. There are better options available on the market at similar price points that don't come with the same set of problems. So what's a good alternative? One reviewer recommended checking out the Breville Glass Steamer, which has a more robust design and easier to clean glass surface. Another reviewer suggested looking into steam cleaners from brands like Le Creuset or Zwilling J.A. Henkel's. Therefore, before you make your next purchase, I encourage you to do some research of your own and read reviews from multiple sources. Don't just take my word for it, look at the facts and figures for yourself. And remember, the best price is always available on Amazon with the link in the description.